What's up, guys? What's going on? Another nice little winter afternoon. The heck's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? Looking good, feeling good. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy portfolio. Let's go, baby. All right. So, looking at Bitcoin, we're trying to press above the 30-day moving average on the daily time frame, as you can see, sitting at 94, pretty much 94.4, right? And I did tell you guys last night, this morning, over on the Patreon, that was probably going to be a significant level of resistance to break through. But once we do, we will likely come up to fill the CME gap at 96K. And then the next psychological level of resistance is probably going to be right around here, right around, yeah, $100,000, right? So let's make that a different color, actually. Let's make it, what color should we make it, guys? Make it like a violet color, right? So yeah. So that's the thing. And then after that, if we can get through the psychological level of $100,000, well, then we have the CME gap up here at $110,000, right? So those are the numbers we are paying attention to on the Bitcoin chart. Let's get into our super chats. We just got the one to start the stream. Big Kev, what's up, man? I missed a few days of lives. I'm back, and the market is looking good. I believe that next year will go down in history as the biggest bull run ever in crypto. Just my opinion. Let's go. I dig it, Big Kev. I dig it, brother. I like where you're going with it, man. I like where you're going with it. Let's get into the chat a little bit. See what's going on out there, guys. As you guys know, on the Patreon, I am suffering from insomnia from my jet lag from my trip to Japan. So a little groggy today, but I'm here, baby. Let's go. Quentin, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. He's first, baby. I was able to solve the Patreon issue. Yes, I saw that. I got a notification about it there over on the Patreon, brother. It's a me, Mario. Exciting times. Yeah, absolutely. There she is, the one and only Gamma Goddess. She says, good afternoon, Robert Crypto fam. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's get this money. Heck yeah. Jake the Snake. Lord, give me DCA monies, please. Yes, Isaac, my dude. I'm officially making money in the swing trade tier. Good vibes and more money to be made over there, guys. Yes, absolutely, man. No toxic comments in the swing trade tier. All kinds of gains being made. I am dropping 4 more trades over there again today. So if you want to get in on our trades, guys, get over to the Patreon. It's 50% off right now. What do we got? A guy says, happy crypto hump day. Hey, yo, Rob and the crypto fan. There you go. There you go. Let's go, Jasmine. Yes, absolutely. Let's go, Jasmine. You nailed it, man. You nailed it. William, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Paul, my dude, what's happening? Guys, make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe on the way in. We got 136 people watching. We have 47 likes. Let's get that up to 100, guys. We're almost halfway there. Let's get it. Is there a future for Stronghold? Yeah, in my opinion, there is. Stronghold's a fantastic. I'm extremely bullish on Stronghold. Yeah, I like Stronghold. D. Wellwood says 41 people watching, only 20 likes. Come on, people. Yes, exactly. Show me the money. What's up, Blessings? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Morning, brother Rob. Is the fight about Myria true? Well, I mean, yes and no, right? There's a lot of misinformation being spread about Myria, but there is reasons to be concerned as well. So I would have to say yes and or no, right? Good evening, Rob, and hello, Cat's in the house. What's happening, Cat? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hybrid Dad, I used to be a chicken wuss till I joined the Patreon. There you go. Oh, no, I panicked, sold all my cookies. I don't believe you, Cookie Monster Trader. You love those cookies, brother. Lions Den, crypto investor. Want to hear a joke? CD Knox, still bullish on Myria. Yeah, I am. Like I said, is there reasons to be concerned when it comes to Myria? Yeah, no one's going to say that there's not. But here's the thing that people who are spreading information about Myria are not telling you. There is no more reason to be concerned about Myria than there is to be concerned about every other crypto around the same market cap, right? That's what they're not telling you. So, okay, Lily, what's happening? Ben, what's up, buddy? When is the exact day I will be able to buy my house, Hippo? Yeah, I wish I could tell you, brother. I want to hear a joke. Stock investor, sure. Crypto investor, profits stocks investor. I don't get it, crypto investor. I don't get it either. Blue, green. I am Jasmine. We're all Jasmine. There you go, Gamma Goddess dropping that cheddar. She says, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Praise to be God. Praise be to God. Yes. So, why so you still not recommend any DCA into alts? We're first of all, I don't discuss Patreon topics on YouTube channel, and you should know that by now. And no, are people just not listening to me when I talk? Is that, I don't understand. I've been saying every day for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks now, that I'm not buying altcoins because I'm expecting Bitcoin to put in a right shoulder and then fall down to the 200-week moving average. And that is where I will buy alts. Am I not making myself clear on that? Because I think I've said it about 5 times a day for about 3 weeks now, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not. You guys tell me, maybe I'm not being clear. Genuine question. Am I not being clear? Do I need to be more clear? I need to know so that I can get the message across. I'm not being a smartass. I legitimately want to know if I'm not being clear, right? Greg, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. The Gamma Goddess, turns out, the rooster. Well played, Gamma. Well played. Nice. I was going to drop a little bit of a comment there too, but hope everyone is well. Absolutely. Lord of the Realm, good afternoon. Member for 21 months. Been with me for the long haul. Hope you're ready for the Santa rally. Let's go. Life has been beating the crap out of me lately, but I remain positive and hopeful since I'm making money in the swing trade tier. There you go. Yeah, you've been crushing it for a long time in there, Jared. And what I would say to you, brother, is that, listen, all the bad things that happen in life to you, and this goes for everybody in general, right? Metal is made harder, right, by going through the fire. That's what they say, right? When you're going through things in your life, whether it's in your investings or your personal life, relationships, whatever it is, you have to remember that these things are forging you into the successful person that you're going to become, that you're supposed to become, right? So hard times are for everyone, and the way I look at it is whenever I fall on hard times, I know that that God is just putting me through something that is going to help me become the person that he's making me into, that I'm supposed to be, right? The happy, healthy, wise, strong person that I know I will be in the future. So try to keep that in mind, guys, that, everything happens for a reason. There's a reason that something's happening in your life. Learn the lesson from it, no matter how hard it is. That's what I try to do. And you'll be better for it. I do believe that, right? I do believe that. So shoveling snow for there you go. Hey, whatever you got to do, that's what you got to do, brother. I agree. Dry powder. What's up, Robin? Loving the swing trade tier. I really appreciate all the work you put in. Thank you so much, Jess. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Like I said, dropping 4 more trades in there today, so don't miss out on that. Jay Dorn, I've made more in our trading tier than it costs for the year, and I'm learning so much TA. There you go. I love to hear it, man. I love to hear our trading group people making so much money when the market is so, volatile and people are finding it hard to make profits, but our trading group is making money hand over fist, and it's paying for their memberships. I absolutely love seeing that. Greetings and blessings. Music TV, brother. Nice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Rob, you have been very clear. Most people just won't make it. Exactly, Lions Den. Most people won't make it. And I've been saying that for 3 years now, that a lot of people are going to fall off along the way. Their emotions will get to them. They'll convince themselves that some sort of weird conspiracy is true and they're getting scammed or something like that, right? Somebody's wronging them, and that's why they're not rich yet. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Most people, how long have you guys heard me say 90% of people in crypto don't make it? They shake themselves out, right? And then they blame things don't go the way they want them to go. They start pointing fingers at other people. They start blaming things instead of just being consistent and patient, which is what I've told you guys, everybody, from the beginning of time. Two things made me successful in crypto: consistency and patience. I have a question for you, and I was thinking about this last night. To the people who are, who freak out and they're always making toxic comments and stuff like that, now this is just an assumption on my part, but I'm assuming that you follow people, content creators like myself or whomever else, who have become successful in crypto because you want to mold your path to success after the things that they did that made them successful. That's an assumption on my part, right? And I hope it's a safe one to make. Now, for me personally, right, if you want to acquire the knowledge and the skill set and figure out how I became successful in crypto over time, right? I have a question for you. Do you see me getting upset, smashing toxic comments everywhere, fudding crypto projects that I'm invested in that aren't doing what I want them to do when I want them to do it? I bought a project. It's not pumping in the time frame that I was expecting it to pump. Do you see me online fudding the project? Right? The answer to all of these questions is obviously no. You don't ever see me losing my temper online, fudding projects, blaming other people, calling things a scam. You don't see me doing that kind of stuff. And if you're trying to mold your path to success after some of the things that I've done that made me successful, if you don't see me doing those things, why are you doing them? I would put that question out there, right? Do you, and I would follow it up with another rhetorical question, okay? Do you feel that fighting projects that you're invested in online, getting angry, blaming people, being toxic, instead of being consistent and patient, do you find you're making money doing that? If the answer rhetorically inside yourself is no, then I would again ask you, why are you doing it? Right? If it's not making you any money, why are you doing it? Right? Just putting that out there. Crystal. Loud and clear, my friend. Nice, nice, nice. Should I long Miss Piggy and short the Roberto, are you still listening to me? Noobs, did you say something? Exactly. So basically, I'm going to be a true warrior, right? I appreciate your kind words, brother. It does help. It's like the market can only be down so long. Yes, exactly. Inevitable downs and inevitable ups. You're absolutely right. Chris with the super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Let's see if my autocorrect spell words this time. Thoughts on possible effects of a Japanese reverse carry trade on our markets? Yes, I mean, that always has, here's the thing, it always has a major impact, but not a long lasting, if that makes sense, right? I mean, we saw the announcement a few days ago, right, of them possibly increasing rates. They haven't done it yet, but we, you know what, here's the funny thing. I think it was in 2022 or 2023, where they said the same thing. The same announcement came out that they were considering increasing rates on the Japanese carry trade, right? And then the market crashed as a result, right? Because what happens is people borrow money from the Bank of Japan at zero interest, right, or close to it, and then they shift that money over to the capital markets in the United States, where they then make money. But if Japan starts raising rates, people stop borrowing money from them because it's not zero interest anymore, right? So it affects markets in the United States and everywhere else, right? It's like a domino effect, if you don't understand, just to sum it up real quick. In saying that, so whenever they announce that they're considering increasing rates, obviously it does affect markets and they shift. Well, a couple years ago, they made the same announcement and they never ended up increasing rates. So I wouldn't be shocked if this is just another nothing burger where they don't end up increasing rates. It's almost like they're putting a gauge out there to see how the markets would respond, right? It's very, very strange. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Yes, amen, Mario, amen. It's Pico. What's going on, Pico? Don't miss our new video. Our story is really starting to take off. Yes, I have been very, very interested in the storyline. It's been pretty funny. The last episode had me howling, absolutely howling. Have you reached out to the Myriad team about marketing? Multiple times. I have reached out multiple times over the last few months trying to get someone on the channel just for a brief interview. One more thing. God bless you and your family. Oh, thank you so much. God bless you too and your family. Thank you so much. I eat cookies to train my stomach for volatility. There you go. There you go. Carlos, what's up? Do you think alt season is still possible? Yes, I do. Another local. Thanks, Rob, for all your work, the alpha, and the community guidance. Hey, no problem. My syndrome may be down, but my portfolio is up. Thanks, Rob. Hey, absolutely. Amen to that, man. Let's see. Make that cheddar. Make the cheddar better. What do we got? 194 people watching. We have 72 likes. Let's get it up there, guys. We're getting close. We're almost to that elusive 100 like position. Well said, Mario. Absolutely. Amen to that. All right, so let's get into the news since we are caught up in the chat. Okay, what do you say? What do you know? Solana holds a key technical level as USDC inflows strengthen. While many eyes remain fixed on Bitcoin and Ether, Solana is currently playing a much subtler game. The Solana crypto remains above $120, supported by a massive shift in liquidity and on-chain supply. However, trader-side demand remains surprisingly timid. And as long as this gap persists, Solana's structural advantage is not fully reflected in the price. Binance is experiencing a drop in its cryptocurrency reserves. While stablecoin inflows reached record levels, USDC inflows have exceeded $2.12 billion, while more than $1.11 billion in Solana have left the platform. In other words, liquidity in stablecoins is strengthening at the very moment when the supply of Solana on order books is shrinking. For a crypto, this type of configuration reveals the first signal of a supply crunch. Capital accumulates awaiting deployment, while tokens available for immediate sale decrease. So the amount of available Solana basically on centralized exchanges is drying up. So supply and demand crunch will start to come into effect on Solana, and it would be good for the entire Solana ecosystem, meme coins included. In such a configuration, stablecoins act as ammunition on hold. When USDC flows concentrate on an ecosystem like Solana, it often signals an institutional investor or whales are positioning themselves. But without having firmly pressed the buy button yet, the market senses the presence of potential liquidity, which helps defend major supports, notably the $120 zone. Another revealing detail, the outflow of $450 million in USDT in favor of USDC, so people are preferring Circle instead of Tether. This is not just a simple stablecoin arbitrage, it is also the confidence indicator. Historically, increased USDC usage on Solana accompanies healthier building phases, more orientated towards investments and infrastructure than pure short-term speculation. For the performance-oriented crypto like Solana, this is a rather constructive basis. So basically, USDC on Solana, a lot of money's flowing out of USDT Tether on Ethereum and flowing into USDC on Solana, right? Average cost on-chain data shows two large buyer blocks, about 17.8 million Solana purchased around $142 and 16 million Solana around $135. These zones are not just prices on a chart, they materialize crowds of investors with memory, emotion, and limited pain tolerance. When large clusters are situated below the price, they often act like a cushion. Holders are close to break even or already in profit. They therefore have the interest to they have an interest in defending that zone. So bulls are defending the zone because they're either in profit or even, and they don't want to be in the red, right? Even reinforcing their positions if the market relaxes. This partly explains the resilience of the support around $120. The recent buying structure is not completely weakened. Conversely, massive clusters above the price create potential ceilings. Trapped investors, buyers at $135 to $142, may be tempted to sell as soon as the price returns to their entry level to get out clean. As long as Solana fails to substantially reclaim these levels, the crypto remains locked in a zone of neutrality. The latent selling pressure, as soon as the market rises too quickly, the real bullish pivot will play out precisely there. The rebound of $135, then $142 with real volume. While on-chain tells a story of accumulation and supply contraction, the derivatives market, on the other hand, is cooling off. Solana futures volume drops about 3%, while at the same time, contracts on Bitcoin and Ethereum increased significantly. With rises of 43 and 24%, crypto traders are therefore selective. The appetite for leverage concentrates elsewhere than on Solana. So people are longing and shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum, but not so much on Solana. So there's less kind of volatility in Solana as a result of that, right? The relative claim is not necessarily bad news. Less leverage often means fewer brutal liquidations, like I just said, less volatility, right? And less speculative noise. According to unrealized profit metrics, the Solana market has returned to profitability levels close to those seen in October of 2023, a period when the token traded around $20. In other words, the euphoria has been purged. The explosive outperformance of 2024 and 2025 have given way to a phase where excesses have evaporated and the weakest have already capitulated. Net realized profit loss indicators recorded heavy realized losses in November, similar to those observed during the February to April 2025 bottom. Historically, this type of configuration often appears just before stronger recovery cycles, but nothing is automatic. To transform this reaccumulation terrain into a true bullish catalyst, spot buyers must return, so retail has to come back in and start buying. Derivatives traders must increase their exposure, and stable liquidity must finally start converting massively into Solana. I know I definitely prefer, yes, me too. For the long haul, me too. Is it possible that you're wrong about us going back to 200-week moving average? Of course it's possible that I'm wrong. Listen, I'm just a human being. I'm not right about everything. And in no way do I ever want anyone on this channel to ever think that I am right about everything all the time, because I'm not, right? I'm wrong. I'm right more than I'm wrong, but I'm wrong also, right? And everyone is. There's nobody out there that's not wrong once in a while. So yes, it is absolutely possible that I am wrong. 100% possible, right? This channel is not driven on my ego. So, yeah. Bitcoin price hits 93K as short traders lose 3.2 million. Longs profit. Bitcoin continued its upward momentum, reaching $93,330 after a 7.4% rise in 24 hours, according to CoinGecko. During this price movement, one wallet, identified as wallet address, closed a 20x short position on 447.38 Bitcoin, worth $38.67 million, according to Look On Chain. The exit led to a realized loss of $3.2 million. Oof. Now that's a hit. The opposite wallet, the opposing wallet, whatever, had opened a 15x long position on 300 Bitcoin valued at $25.9 million. This position remains active with over 2.5 million in unrealized profits. The long was entered at $84,736 with the liquidation price of $72,424, showing resilience as Bitcoin pushed past 93K. According to Glassnode, Bitcoin faced a strong rejection at 93,000 last week, but as price attempts to break through this level today, we're seeing large short liquidations cluster forming. So a lot of shorts are getting torched. Not a good time to be putting in shorts, in my opinion, guys. I'm still leaning towards my Elliott wave theory that's starting the beginning of November 2024 hopium. There you go. There you go. But you're probably wrong because, let's face it, Spencer, you're wrong about everything. That's what Andy would say. That one's for Andy, right? Let's get over to Squawk Box and see what's going on. Paul Atkins was over on Squawk Box yesterday, and I was completely exhausted last night, so we didn't play it. So we're going to play it now. He is the SEC chair, and he's talking about regulations. We need to make sure our rule book is fit for purpose. Yes. Let's go.
This guy's going to weigh in on crypto regulations, corporate governance, and more. Joining us now, SEC Chairman Paul Atkins. Mr. Chairman, I see where you are right now at the New York Stock Exchange. You're going to celebrate, or at least talk about, America's 250th, which is coming up next year. And there's a ceremony at the opening bell, and I was kind of trying to tie together what you do, what we talk about on this show, and how it relates to America's story. And it's capitalism and the rise of the United States have been just inextricably linked. And when you think of the U.S., don't you think, I think freedom, free, because it was such a novel concept, liberty when it happened. And we're talking about free markets. It just goes hand in hand.
It does. Thank you very much, Joe, and thanks for having me today. So I'm really up here in New York today at the New York Stock Exchange and later on at NASDAQ to really celebrate what you're talking about. We have the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence next year, which, like you say, is all about liberty and individual freedom and the right to be secure in your property and to pursue happiness. But the thing is that the capital markets have been the engine behind the development of all sorts of innovation, investors risking their money for entrepreneurs to develop their products. And America, in fact, was an investment before it was a nation, because the English investors, British investors put money into trying to start the settlements, North Carolina, which didn't work so well, but then came others at Jamestown and afterwards. And so they risked their money to eventually build the nation that we have to celebrate today.
Right. Philosophers have written about the leisure class, and we get to a point where, our academics look around and take everything for granted, and they're able to actually start talking about things like socialism. And it's happening again with our young. I don't know where we're going wrong. 51% think socialism might be superior to capitalism. Maybe they don't remember it. The millions of people affected over, through history, through those ill-conceived notions. What are we doing wrong, Mr. Chairman?
Well, I don't know. I think the main thing is to, focus on the positive, and teach people, how we got to where we are today. And obviously there are problems. Every human enterprise has problems. Nothing's perfect. But, we've made huge progress in 250 years, individual liberty for all, and, the prosperity that we enjoy. And that, again, is because people are investing their money because they see a possibility of profit, yes, but also, it lifts all boats, frankly. The developments that come out of risk-taking are huge, that we've developed over the years, airplanes now looking at space and maybe colonizing Mars and things like that. So risk takers are there, and young folks are taking risks as well. So I wouldn't so much focus on on the isms as much as what is driving our forces. And so,
damn those isms.
With respect to the United States capital markets, I want to make sure that we're modernizing our rule book, making sure that we are keeping pace with where we should be as far as ease of raising capital. We today have more or less half the number of public companies that we had 30 years ago. And so we at the SEC are taking steps to address that, try to make IPOs great again is what my goal is. And so we're kicking that off as well here in the new year.
Mr. Chairman, we've talked a lot lately about how gambling and investing are blending in some ways. You see it with the gambling sites, you see it with predictions markets, and I realize that's the CFTC, not your purview in terms of the prediction markets. But we even talked yesterday with Amy Silverman, who just talked about how you do see much more activity in these future markets on things like options and puts that expire within a day. What's your thought on that? Because your job is to make sure that investors are protected. Is there too much of a blend between investing and gambling, or do you think this is something that's manageable?
Well, I do think it's manageable, and I'm focused on the capital markets. And
here's the thing, guys. I think that we've seen the blurring of a line here, okay? There's a difference, in my opinion, when it comes to protecting investors. Protecting investors means protecting them from scams or from companies who are misleading investors to invest in their company. That's what protecting investors is for. That's what the SEC is for, right? To hold companies accountable to that kind of stuff, to prevent retail investors from being scammed flat out, right? That is a far cry from what they're talking about here when they're saying, well, investing is slowly becoming like gambling, or they're merging together, and how do you kind of protect investors from that? It is not the SEC's job to protect people on how to spend their money. That is not protecting investors. That's starting to dictate how people choose to spend their money. Should people seek help if they have gambling addictions and stuff? Absolutely. And should people invest in stuff like meme coins and stuff if they have gambling problems? Probably not. But that's not the argument. The argument is, what is the definition of protecting retail investors? And really, that is to protect them from scams, not to guide them on where and when they should spend their money and on what, right? That's my thoughts on it. I think that's a little bit of overreach.
I'll leave my colleagues at the Commodity Futures Trading Commission to look after the futures and derivatives markets. And so, but risk taking, there is a continuum from from more long-term things to more short-term as well. But that's inherent in humans to take risks, and others more embracing of it than others who might just stick their money under their mattress. But what we want to try to focus on, and what I hear when I travel abroad in Europe and Japan, for example, is everybody looks with envy and at our capital markets, what we have achieved here, and the risk-taking attitude, the investment culture that we have ingrained. And that really is lacking in other cultures. And so that is the thing that is a great asset for the United States, that has built our capital markets and has provided capital for entrepreneurs to build towards their dreams, and then to have their investors share in those in building those dreams and making products that people want and people need and people are willing to buy and use.
On the proxy advisors, shareholder voting, and issues like that, it almost looks like you are trying to roll back a lot of the what some would think were ill-conceived notions of ESG, DEI, et cetera. You got shareholders that represent less than a percentage of a company's outstanding shares, bogging down management with proposals. You've got passive investors like Vanguard or BlackRock, where the CEO can actually say, gee, this is the way I feel about these social issues, and I'm going to vote the shares of a passive investment with what my interests are in mind. How did we ever get to that point without thinking this is insane?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, things have changed a lot. When I was, I've been now at the SEC 3 times, over the last 3 decades. But in the early 90s, I was there for 4 years. The individual investors made up more than half of the market capitalization of the U.S. markets, holding the stocks directly. Now things obviously have changed. They've gone to holdings. People have ETFs and mutual funds and all sorts of other things. So that's great. And the people are invested in the marketplace, saving for the long term. But I think it's time to modernize our rules, and things have been allowed to, if you've ever had a boat and have barnacles on the hull, it's time to scrape off those barnacles and make our ship be able to sail, quickly through the waters. And so that's what we're setting out to do with the SEC, and they're basically 3 things that we're looking at to try to make IPOs great again. One is to modernize our rule book to make sure that our regulations are fit for purpose to help small companies and large companies attract capital. Second is to look at our litigation situation, with respect to, the strike suits and other sorts of frivolous actions that really impede, I think, people from wanting to be public. And then finally, the corporate governance issues that you were alluding to, where we have things that take so much time, various precatory proposals and whatnot that are, that really don't get adopted by shareholders and create, I think, more noise and are weaponized by particular special interest groups and that sort of thing. So we need to get back to basics, make sure that our rule book is fit for purpose and helping to make our capital markets as efficient and growing as possible.
Can you do what needs to be done with crypto without legislation? And do you think that can happen before the end of the year?
Well, we'll see. We're working with Congress and we're providing what we call technical assistance to them regarding legislation to make sure that, they're staying on, what makes sense and that meshes with other laws and whatnot. And we'll see. I can't prognosticate that, but we have enough authority to drive forward. I'm looking forward to having an innovation exemption that we've been talking about now. We'll be able to get that out in a month or so is what I'm hoping. We were impeded a bit by the government shutdown. Obviously, we couldn't work on things during that time, but we're on track and we will be able to forge forward with the crypto area and make sure that we are able to embrace this new area of innovation that for too long the United States basically is just pushed back against. And so I'm looking forward to having rules that are focused on helping that sector of the economy move forward.
I wonder how mad that makes
them up and make IPOs greater. MIPCA? It doesn't have the same ring. What can we do about that?
Yeah, right. So my Pico, maybe. How about something like that?
Pico.
That might be. Yeah, it's amazing that the number of public companies that we don't have anymore. Is that the rise of private equity? What is that? And is it healthy?
Well, I think many factors. Obviously, it's been the rise in the private markets are much more fluid and liquid than they ever have been in the past, with institutional money going in there and others. And so I think that's a good thing that provides, a good outlet for especially venture capital, obviously, and private equity. But again, when you go back and look at how we have, we're down 40% or so from, 30 years ago of the number of listed public companies. We need to look back at why that is and what causes that. So one is, yes, there's an alternative. But secondly, I believe that, again, all these barnacles that have gotten on our hull, we need to get those stripped off so that things can be more efficient and attract capital back to the markets.
You're down there. You'll be here later, right? I mean, you're not leaving the NASDAQ out, obviously.
Yep. We'll be at the NASDAQ later this afternoon for closing.
Oh, good. Okay, opening, closing. Perfect. All right, Chairman.
Nice. Nice. What do we got? We're going to catch up in the chat. What's up, brother man? 40 push-ups? No, 50. Don't you try and skimp out of 10 push-ups. Come on now. Come on. Let's get it done. Hey, Rob, BTC dominance forming a head and shoulders pattern. Let's have a look. Let's have a looky-loo. Which time frame are you talking about on the Bitcoin dominance? Oh, yeah. I see where you're going with it. Yeah, see, we've broken out to the downside. Just as, look at, my structure's still there in place on the Bitcoin dominance. Look at that. It's playing out perfectly, right? Which would be good if this continues to play out. Yes, this would be a head and shoulders pattern. Very, very bullish. Good eye, my friend. Good eye on that. Yes, this would be a bearish structure on Bitcoin dominance. And for those of you who are wondering, well, what does that mean? Well, a head and shoulders pattern generally means that whatever you're looking at, whether it's a stock, a crypto, the Bitcoin dominance, is going to crash to the downside, right? As you can see on my chart here, you have this ascending channel that I put in a while ago, and as I put this line here saying it's going to drop down, right? 52%. So here we are. That would be your target, would be right around that 52.13% on the Bitcoin dominance on the breakdown of this head and shoulders pattern. Now, if you're wondering what the hell that means, well, it would mean that altcoins are generally most likely going to start to outperform Bitcoin here, right? So this is very bullish. If you're hoping for an altcoin rally, this is a very, very bullish thing, guys. So yeah, good eye on that. So don't YOLO into Fartcoin. Crypto J5, we got Gengar in the house. What's happening? Went to take some profits on my silver coin shop. Told me they weren't buying silver eagles. They were not buying silver eagles. And $10 under spot for a 10-ounce, for a 100-ounce bar. Wow. See, you're even not safe in precious metals, man. Like you could be in massive profits on it, but if they don't want to buy it from you, and like I hope you did not sell your 100-ounce bars at $10 under spot. They're basically saying, we want to steal your profits from you, is basically what they're saying. No chance, man. Pico, yes, absolutely. Fake poll saying socialism is better. Gary Gensler looking for that pillow. Pico, baby. That's right. Scam. Daily. Yeah. I got you. On the daily, but this is the weekly as well. This is the weekly. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, same thing. Same thing on the daily and the weekly. Exactly the same thing. Just happened to me today. Wow. That is infuriating, to say the least. Jack says, Pico. Hell yeah. Didn't sell anything. Nice. Good. We love Pico. Yeah, we do. Hell to the yeah. All right, let's add something else I wanted to show you guys here. Courtesy of Crypto Chrome. You know him, you love him. Crypto Chrome over on X. Give him a follow. He says ZBEC and the Fed now integration in ZBEC.
A quiet announcement just changed everything for ZBEC holders. Here's what 99% of crypto Twitter missed. In a recent X Spaces call, executives from ZBEC and NatPay shared a major milestone: ZBEC's official integration with NatPay, the only payroll processor live on the FedNow system. This changes everything. It means payroll can now move in real time, not next week, not overnight, but instantly, from on-chain stablecoins to traditional bank accounts. For years, crypto promised faster payments. ZBEC is actually delivering it. 2025 has been a breakout year for the entire payment ecosystem. Stablecoin transactions are rising, FedNow is gaining traction, Swift is upgrading its infrastructure, and ZBEC is positioned at the intersection of all of it. This isn't just about technology, it's about trust. ZBEC's collaboration with NatPay and longtime partner Assure.ai brings credibility, compliance, and scale to what's been, until now, a fragmented experience. With over 100 $170 billion in volume and more than 300,000 clients served, NatPay isn't a startup, it's the real thing. And now, it's live with Zebek. The message for holders is simple. This isn't a hype cycle. It's infrastructure being rebuilt in real time. Zebek's ability to stream payroll across stablecoins, wallets, and into banks on the FedNow network is a first-of-its-kind breakthrough, and it puts Zebek in a league of its own. Crypto Chrome says to stay ready, because
remember when we were talking about Zebek like a year ago, and before it became popular, and all of these meatheads were coming out, fighting it, saying it was a scam, it was this and that and the other thing. Look at it now, baby. Look at it now. Exactly. That's why patience and consistency pays off, guys, right? You find good projects and you wait. You don't listen to the FUD, right? Zebek was under so much attack, so much FUD a year ago, right? Look how things have changed. Fantastic. Fantastic. Congratulations to everyone who held on through the FUD, the fear, and the misinformation. I even had to put out a video debunking a bunch of misinformation about Zebek. You guys remember that? I had to dedicate a whole video to it. Turns out all those people were wrong. Absolutely super fantastic. We love Pico. If you're not in Zebek, I feel bad for you. Yeah. I got 99 cryptos and Zebek is one, right? Yes, I remember. Exactly. Pico says, I thought my meeting with Atkins went well. Exactly. So there it is, guys. Let's go back over to the Bitcoin chart, see what's going on over there. Got to break past the 30-day on the daily time frame. Yeah, they called it how they saw it. Yes, exactly. I'm only saying the facts. I'm only saying what I see. Exactly, Jared. That's like the slogan for the person that did zero information and is acting on emotion. Exactly. Hey, I'm only calling it like I see it, bro. I'm not emotional. Danny, what's up, buddy? What do we got? 250 people watching, guys. We have 106 likes. Awesome. We hit the target, guys. Super fantastic. Can't get to a live stream without saying super fantastic. Come on now. Danny, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. All right, guys, I got some coaching calls to get to over on the Patreon. If you want to chat with me one-on-one, whether it's your confusion about the markets, you're wondering what's going to happen, you want to know, you want to look at your portfolio, you want a portfolio structural breakdown, whatever it is, guys, even if you want to talk hockey, baseball, football, whatever it is, if you just want to sit down, chat with me one-on-one, pick my brain, figure out how I succeeded in this space, get over to the Patreon, book yourself a one-on-one coaching call, or join one of our group coaching calls. We also have a live stream tonight on the Patreon at 6 p.m. Central. I am dropping 4 more trades in our trading group over there. All of our training courses are free to Patreon members, and it's 50% off right now, guys. Use the code in the chat right now, the promo code, 50% off for new members. Check it out. Don't miss the opportunity. It is less. It is half of the price of a cup of a coffee right now. So check it out, my friends. He's the best for Shook Focus. Splake, I had Shook. Shook was on an episode of Blockchain Buzz 2 weeks ago, and he will be on more episodes moving forward for sure. So absolutely, Shook is the man. Shook is the man with the plan. So yeah, guys, check it out. Get our free newsletter as well. Get yourself a decent wallet today. 2-for-1 deal going on. Use our link at BTCC as well. They are a member. They are a channel partner. So check that out. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys later tonight. God bless.